Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.
Witamy wszystkich na 216 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy czwartek, 13 grudnia 2018 rok. I dzisiaj mamy warsztat 253 i to jest czas przetłumaczony tekst od 15 minut do godziny 26 minut. Myślę, że dużo doda do wiedzy dzisiaj. Tak więc zapraszam do obejrzenia, wysłuchania.
And he has lots of things to discuss and teach today. So without further ado, let's begin today's program. Mr. Keshe, are you available there?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, wherever and wherever you listen to these knowledge seekers' teachings. As it says, we are all seekers of knowledge, but what we gather as knowledge depends on our state of intellect in understanding the truth about the creation. Today's teaching will be in so many ways a new introduction or a gathering of the past introduction. The part of the teaching today will be in so many ways closing a lot of mysteries about the creation of man and where man can come from. Were we born on other planets and we were brought here, or are we the creation of this planet? The creation of life on Earth is the topic of subject of knowledge seeking today. We try to prove scientifically, according to the knowledge which we gathered in the foundation, that the essence of life, creation, is exclusivity of this planet in respect to mankind. We are not brought out, but we are a combination of the interaction of what we call accidents of fields and interaction of fields. Before we come to our knowledge-seeking part, there are a number of things which we'd like to bring up to, as usual, to discuss. First of all, the continuation of what we had as the pig flu, the program which we had last week. We started, if you remember, the teaching of the last week in respect to overcoming the virus, African swine virus of the pig. And we started the program on a Friday, 23rd, the week before. We were on Thursday last week when we were still in the stage of waiting for the excrement of the pig to become normal and the process stops. I don't know if our team in the background have the latest pictures. On Friday, the 30th, last Friday, what we were expecting for the normality back with the animal, that she starts living a normal life, and as she start eating, and the animal, or Madame Pig, actually created what we were waiting for, a normal experiment, and we waited for 2 more days, Saturday and Sunday, and on Friday we closed the case there. As we said, the mission is accomplished. We have brought the pig back into normal life without any viruses, without any effect of the virus. At the moment, we are involved with the Chinese evaluation of the discovery. And in the next few days, decisions will be made how to bring or evaluate or test trial in larger scale in China. We are waiting still for decisions in the next few days, how, in which ways this is going to go. A lot of people thought it's just a pig flu and that's it, but as one American, what we call visuals, mentioned last week, this is one of the biggest discovery of 21st century. Is very much like the discovery of penicillin. In time when it'll take hold and we start developing this technology very rapidly in the coming months and weeks, it is equivalent of the discovery of penicillin. We never understood the work of the viruses on us, and now with the new plasma technology, which we have thought we understand, we have shown, we have found one of the last hurdles in the world of medicine, viruses. Now a lot of research will go into this development of the strands of virus and the strength of virus, and in the coming months, new researchers will be starting to see everything can be stopped with viruses. Viruses are a menace to us because they attach themselves to the amino acid. In a space we don't have, as I said in the teaching of last week, microbes and bacteria, because there is no amino acid. So the only thing which attaches itself to us is the package of energy which have a common denominator energy with our amino acid or elements of our body. Could be phosphorus, calcium, anything else. So as our body is made of millions of different combinations of strength of plasmas, one making the kidney, one making the heart, one making a cell of a brain, we have a huge spectrum. So we are vulnerable to totality of the fields of the universe, more or less. We had to complete one of the cycles of the being able to allow the man to live in the space, which was how we handle these packages of energy we call a virus. And now we have shown it can be done. And this is the beginning of a new cycle of knowledge. Because up to now, as I said, you go to a doctor, says you have a virus, you have a flu, there is nothing can be done, you have to go through it. Now it can be done. Now we can do something about it, because now we can create packages of plasmas that, like a tablet you take, is a water you drink and it's gone. Research in this section will start extensively in the coming weeks, because this solves a lot of problem in respect to chemical warfare, in respect, as I said, to nuclear accidents, because these are extra energies which come in. Understanding this will allow us for the first time to overcome the damages of leukemia, depleting energy from the cells as amino acid level and the cell tissue. The discussions about this discovery, which has been announced last week with overcoming viruses, will have a huge applications on how we live. We don't have any more fear of viruses. AIDS, Ebola, anything else. The summer-winter flus which hits us. There is a typical problem with this flu, which has taught us something very new. And that is, we always get the flu in the winter time, when the body has a different energy pack that spends more of its strength to overcome the cold. Then its protection level is low and we get different kind of flu. The African flu is very different. It's coming during the heat, during the summertime into China, which is very unusual. It has shown us a new strand of flus. It has shown us new strand of virus. It's fundamentally different than what we are used to. And this is one of the reasons has not mutated into human body yet. We understand this process rather well, completely. And this is the, what I call fundamental differences in understanding of this flu. And it's the first time, more or less, we see summer flu in the pigs. But it's not translating, it's not transferring itself into human race. It's not mutating. Somehow does not find a connection, because in the summertime we are strong enough to stand this flus. and the strand stays at high. The animals which they get this, they go in a high temperature, and this is very unusual in the pattern of viruses. So this has opened a huge Pandora box. The scientific world in time will come to start research on this, and we are preparing different materials for different flus to be tested in the coming time. And for you to understand how these viruses attach themselves to us as human beings, is important to understand the creation of life on this planet. Part of what we call viruses has led to, or leads to, or become part of our life through our mutation, or what we call evolution of life. So all the viruses have not been bad. Some of them has caused us to evolve faster. Some of them has created for us a different direction of life. These are very important, especially now that we become aware of what we call genetic warfare. The genetic warfare which is taking shape now, especially promoted heavily by the Americans, is that they are taking races. Each race has a gene, Chinese, African, Russian. And they are developing a technology to be able to take race by race out. It's known as a genetic warfare. With this technology we can overcome all of it, because there is a process we can replicate. The process of understanding this is especially effective when it comes to us in space, that the energies cannot change our races. We can stay as we are. You don't change yellow, black, blue as you go through different ends of the magnetic field that we can create and hold on to. This technology will be part of our research and development in the coming weeks. And as I said, we go further and further with this technology. The implication of the new development understanding of viruses is huge. I wonder if we have enough scientists even to be able to follow this, to be able to develop it. Our man in over the next 200-300 years gradually evolves and understands and develops it. This stops all the chemical warfare, because now we can adjust, we can tailor-make everything possible. This creates a new condition for all of us. In so many ways, a flu will become a thing of the past. To die from viruses, which up to now we had no choice, we have to wait and done, will be over. In effect, a lot of knowledge will be added to our knowledge through the research and development of this new cycle of understanding. But the point comes, is the man ready to go into space? And did we have to solve this problem before we go, that it was in the hand of public? And the answer is yes. This is part of the teachings. It was important to have this, because as I said, the first time, second time we showed it, it was hidden and covered up by government. This time it's not. This time it's done by the Keshe Foundation, it's in public domain, and in the coming weeks we'll carry on with this in different aspects. Very soon we are looking into a trial with tens of thousands of animals. We'll announce it as it happens. And this is important for all of us. This is part of the national food security. This is part of the culture of understanding how things can change for all of us in this space. In the coming time, handling viruses will be very much easier than handling bacteria, because we can tailor-make, we can measure it. It's not if this antibiotic works or that antibiotic works. We use the measurement tools to measure the strength of the animal, and then we can create a matching gravitational magnetic fields of the what we call the virus. You got to understand the technology, as the Chinese say, this is an upside down technology. Why is it an upside down technology? Can I change and write this for us to understand? You have to understand why this technology is upside down when it comes to viruses. With the viruses, with all these things, when you look, we have a bacteria, we take antibiotic, much stronger, and we destroy it, we kill it. With this technology, it's upside down. The virus is very strong, and it attaches itself to a very little amino acid through link of connection of the field strength. What we do is opposite to the knowledge of the present time, and that is what we do. We introduce a weaker element into. We are not giving it a stronger field to destroy it. It's opposite. We go in the path of peace, the way the knowledge shows us. What happens? Because the magnetic gravitational field of this virus is much stronger than the field which is in this, what does it do? It tries to feed it, to bring it to itself, that it can become part of it. And in that process, the virus shrinks. The virus becomes so weak that it's not a virus anymore. But at the same time, the GANs which is used, the plasmatic water combination used through its process, is rejected by the body. And in that process, any imbalances which is created in the body, the energy of the virus becomes a food for balancing the damages of other viruses. At the same time, it takes more of the next virus cell. And in the process, clears, depletes the energy of the virus from the amino acid. What we are left with, in reality, is the amino acid on its own, plus the conversion of the energy of the virus to become food for the body of the man or the animal. Because now that this cell has taken energy, has energy to submit and give to the cells which have been weakened by the virus itself. It's the beauty of this technology. It's the beauty of understanding it. No more killing. Just using the energy of the plasma of the virus itself to become the food for the weaker part which other viruses have created, and balancing it out. This is exactly why we wash the pig and we fed the pig. The washing is a field of different strength than when it goes through the body. So everything in the body is done. Chinese scientists tell us that up to now they have tried to overcome this, but they have seen genetic defects, change of genes of the animals. With this process, any genetic defect will be sorted, will be what we call replaced, will be brought back to normality. With the present science, one of the reasons that they slaughter the animals is because if the reports of scientific reports up to now confirms there is a change in genetics, genetic modification, and not knowing what it is, but we are eating it all. It's entered the food chain, so we do not know what comes at the end. But using the gas process, we correct the genetic defect, the way we done with the plants, the way we done with seeds. The continuation of this knowledge, as I call the single pig, in a very remote farm in the most remotest part of China, will bring a new dimensions of understanding. You'll change a lot of things for us. A lot of things for us in space. The doctors, the vets who have handled these animals, they say they call it the change of their skin changes. They get red spots and black spots on them. But we've seen all the spots has gone away and the pig is back to its normal. So it means all the cells have been put back in order. As one said, it'll become the most famous pig in town. But this is what it is, this is what the knowledge is. This is how we had to learn. And this is what you as Keshe Foundation researchers and the universities in the coming time will develop. Now you understand the significance of last week, knowledge seeking. The process hasn't started. The process just getting to be understood, and for the scientists to understand in the world of pharmaceutical what we call the new pharmoplasma, what calls pharmaceutical is not fitting us. It's a new technology. It's a new gas plasma technology. And it will come. It will come so fast because it's part of the space technology. There is no more fear of viruses. There is no more fear of what might happen to us. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. So this is what last week's teaching has brought in. A fundamental change in the world of science through simple tests with a pig. Number of animals will be tested in the coming time. Collaboration with the Russian government officials in respect to eradicating the animal disease in Russia is in progress. We are in communication with the officials in the Iranian government. They are aware of the development. The Americans have no problem with it because in so many ways they created the mutation of it, and this is part of the whole process. So this is what I wanted to conclude from the teaching of last week, that in a coming time, one day you will tell your children, I was there for the first time when the virus was discovered and was shown how it can be, in a way, resolved. It was a beautiful day for the world of science. It was a beautiful day because when we done it twice before, it was hidden, but this time, as an institute, as a foundation, we can show it how it's done and how it's developed. We come to another point in the whole of discussion of our teaching. We've seen, going through the videos which I see coming up one by one at the beginning, Keshe Foundation needs huge support for donation. we cannot sustain the effectiveness of the way it's gone. We have made the same connection with the Chinese yesterday. You have to start looking after your foundation. I've had enough in a way of supporting it. We'll still carry on doing it, and in so many ways, if we do not receive enough donations, we'll curtail on dollars or euros, and this cannot sustain any, even not even the internet cost of running the operation. So what we are putting it direct, foundation needs is supporters, people who come to listen, to support the foundation. We will stop step by step different part of the Keshe Foundation. If we do not receive support, we have more to do and support the other ways. I said the same thing to the Chinese last night in the meeting with the Chinese community. You come, you learn, you go to the cinema, you pay $10. This movie is on for 257 sessions, 253 sessions, and it needs to be supported. We come to another point, and that is in the promotion, what we saw with the articles, with the what we call manufactured goods. If you produce something that you think you can sell, it's sellable goods with the plasma technology that you want to make something on it, send it to Italy, to the Keshe Foundation in Italy, and let them certify it, and will be sold through Italian office, and you'll be paid for what you ask if it's within reasonable and what Keshe Foundation can put through the system. We want to show more and more applications of the technology. So if you have produced, as we saw with Stefano, the 3-dimensional system, and he would like to sell it, if he can be certified, it'll be sold. We've seen a new system from Poland this week, which will be in the magazine. It works, send it to Italy to be certified, and through Italy will produce, and you get the benefit by it. This is what it is. We have to show more and more applications. Next week you will see new products from Italy. Next week we've been told you see 3 new products from Austrian group. And this is what we need to show, more and more applications, and then we'll see where it goes. If you produce something, put it in a box, send it to the Keshe Foundation, you get the address from wherever it comes, to Italy, and Italian factory will see if they can produce it, they can help you with it, and at the same time they can market it and certify it, it will be sold. We put someone to look for new products. A year he hasn't found anything, now we're going directly to public. If you have made ganses, if you have made things which you apply and it works, and it can be certified, once we get the C certification for it, we market it. And it helps the foundation and helps you, and it spreads the knowledge that it is not just a few t-shirts and other things. As we came through the images, what we saw again last year and this year, G20. There's a big difference in G20 pictures of last year and this year. We see to the image of, to the left, is still President Xi in the center as one of the most powerful leaders of the world, and we still see Trump being moved a little bit more forward, but not to where it should be. And this is where Americans you stand, where the Chinese stand. It shows economical power. But the interesting thing about the G20 of this year, was amazing. And when I looked at it and I watched it live, I said, my God, how mankind has become. We see the allegation against Saudi Arabian prince, crown prince, to become the next ruler of Saudi Arabia. Nobody shakes hands with him because he's suspected of murdering a journalist openly. But strange enough, the man who kills more is given the center point. The whole nation is made on gun policy. When would we come that way, that the leaders of the world highlight in these conferences? When would we treat the American heads of states the same as the way the Saudis were treated this time? That becomes the point when a man matures. That's the point of maturity. If killing one person is so horrendous, how come so many thousands are killed every day by the weapons which is headed by one nation or two nations? This shows we have not matured, but when would we mature? That we sideline the heads of states who made the tools of arms and did the maximum killing, not even to be present in these conferences. Economical power on the basis of peace. It'll be very interesting to see where it goes. There is a development which we are watching. We'll come back to it in the next couple of weeks. We have seen a pattern of the Chinese scientist who was being killed, claiming to be jumping off a roof. One of the eminent scientists in world of computer, quantum physics, quantum energy in computers. The same pattern of work has taken place. We are monitoring this because this is something which has happened in past few days. This scientist was given the highest award of European award for his field just about 2 months ago. And the strange thing with this is he was captured, and the people who was connected to him captured in Canadian airport, exactly the same way as I was captured. This is at the moment we are looking at it, how the Canadian has become a point of killing scientists, capturing scientists and sending them to be killed, the highest payer most probably. This needs investigation, and as I've been a victim of this myself, 11 days I was told I'll be executed every day by them. And now we have another scientist who, going through what we call Canadian territory, has come to see to be killed. Why Canada has got to do with these things? It's very interesting. It's something which we will take it up and we follow it up. But this seems to be as a pattern. Anything connected to the Europeans when crosses Canada becomes executionable. It's called the scientist. Then we have to understand, is Canadian territory a place for capturing and murdering scientists? It seems to be. I'm a victim. And now we found another one, and we were aware there are a few more. Now this one is another public figure, highly respected scientist, and it seems to be no one should pass through Canada. Red zone for scientists. If you have developed anything, Canada is the last place you want to go through, because they capture you, they take it from you, and then they kill you, and we've seen it happening now in past 2 days. These are not allegations. I've posted my case clearly. I wasn't the only one. Strange is, in Europe you get found out and they kill you in Canada, they capture you, most probably take whatever they want and then throw you out. The guy committed suicide. No scientist at this level commits suicide. Does not matter how bad it is, especially if you're at top of your work. We come to another point in our teaching, as we said. It's called, and we call it, the creation of life. The creation of life on this planet is unique to this planet, but the life which means repetition and sustaining a package of energy that it can replicate itself and sustain duration of time in space is not exclusivity of this planet. As you've been with us through the educational part, as you've been with every step by step of development of the Keshe Foundation, you have done things, some of it yourself and some of it through other teachings and understanding of the others. Life is not exclusivity of this planet, no way. Life can be created and sustained anywhere in the universe. It all depends how you tap into the energy of the universe to sustain life, to sustain the duration of existence, to be able to carry on, to be able to give and take from your environment. The cell of the skin of the man carries for 28 days. In totality, when is enough taken and given, that elevates the central station, what we call the soul of the man, to mature to his position, then the body separates the physicality from this central station. Now it's matured. It's very much like you have an egg inside a chicken, more or less, if you call it. It comes from a little, when it's ready, it's delivered. It gets all its nourishment from the chicken, from the body of the life of a man is more or less the same. We gather energy, and from this energy, when it comes to the maturity of the soul of the man to be delivered, is delivered with the physicality which led to its creation. But how does life, the mystery of the life, if it's from another planet, who belongs to this planet, it's very simple. Go back to your boxes.
You keep cutting off. Can you please repeat?
Pardon?
Yeah, you keep cutting off your voice, so we get disrupted. We don't hear.
Do I get this interruption with everyone?
I
Yes, I think no.
Yes. It gets compressed and it comes back very quickly. We hear the sentence complete, but it's hard to hear because it comes through as a very fast sentence. All of a sudden, there's a bandwidth problem happening, is what's going on.
One or two times?
1 or 2 times, yes. So
yes, I see. It tells me it's on a stable. It tells me it's on a stable network. That time I stopped talking. That time to allow this.
Even when you talk about donation, you got this disrupted, so we didn't have of the donation stuff.
All the donations easy. We need donations if you want the foundation work to be on the net. Very simple. I stopped supporting. I supported for 20 years, 18 years. This organization needs backing by the people who come to watch the movie every week. And it needs to be continuous, just not one-off. It has, and it needs a lot. Oh, thank you very much. And that's what is your job. I'll do my job. I come, I teach every week, I support the foundation every way. But now you have, the foundation people have to, you care about, it's something you believe in, you do, this needs to be supported. I've done 18, 20 years of it, I've put millions into it. And I still carry on as far as we can support to support. But in a way, what I'm pulling out for you to start accepting the responsibility. Every aspect we financed, I've done in every shape or form. But it's come to the point, you want to be part of it, you want to teach, you want to be there, you need to contribute towards it. The running cost of the Keshe Foundation on a weekly basis, literally every day, every 24 hours, runs just about $1,000. There are people in the background work, everything else which is in there. And I paid and I still pay, but I'm pulling out because it seems I'm the only one. I just come here to chat and let people like to enjoy it and make system with it and make medical system, charge people 5,000, 10,000 for treating each other and doing all sorts of things, but nothing comes to the foundation. Cinema because you want the movie. This movie has been on for 253 times. You look how much you paid. You pay $5, $10 for a movie. It's $2,500 up to now. You had a free movie. But now it's time for you to support. And if you don't receive the support, as I've done, I start curtailing everything up. Because there are people who depend on us on their lives and it's not getting supported. You come here, have you ever asked how come all these things are here and everybody is here every week is done? And then it becomes my fault, my problem. So I taught enough, 253, 255 teaching is enough. And if you need, you want to be part of it, you got to support it. Doesn't matter how it comes. And if we cannot, if I die tomorrow, the teachings has to stop. If the Canadians do to me what they've done to this Chinese scientist, the knowledge stops, or you're going to gather and find another foundation to do, or you run this foundation to share knowledge with each other. I have a physical life, and what happens to an end? It's gone, it's finished, the show is over. Anyway, we go back to the teaching. As I said, if you go back to the beginning of the work of the foundation, the very first thing you did, most of you who became attached to this knowledge, you did something very, very strange. You put a little plate here and you put a little plate there, you put some salt water in here, and you nano-coated one of these plates. You put nano-coating here, and what did you do? you connected a wire, maybe a little bit load, and you start collecting ganses here. But the operation of creation of gans in the cycle of the life of the man is not the important part of this box. The most important part of this box is this little chap right on the top, the amino acid. The fat. For the first time, we have shown that we can create amino acid. The beginning of life, the origin of life, and the extension of life. Now, here you had a copper, and you had a zinc. You had one type of acid. The next box, you made zinc and zinc, but you still received, you saw the fat. And you still collected your ganses. This amino acid is different than this amino acid. Then you made another box, and then another box, and all of them shows you amino acid. Now, these amino acid, in one of them you decided to put a piece of iron in, and putting that rusty iron gave you the blood, which you saw dripping. So now you noticed a combination of metals, copper and nano-coated, another part gave you a new product. A connection of life with a metal, hemoglobin. So what you have gathered in the process of oceans which continuously have this, they have the salt in them, and they have all the metals floating in them. There is more gold in the oceans floating than is in the land. Man has not found out how to extract it. When you go in the sea and you gulp a mouthful of water, sea water, you already swallowed some gold. You become more expensive. So what you have to understand, now the creation of life has become through the interaction of all these amino acids. Here, when the metal iron touches the amino acid, it creates this one. So now this becomes part of it. You have a mixing machine, and this mixing machine is called the ocean, the waters. So these things have mixed and mixed over time, one by one, coming together. But what you had as a common denominator as a protein, now in the mixing machine of life becomes the first stage of life. Then this first stage of life has to decide how it distributes, how it collects, how it discharges, how It allows different things to be done that it can guarantee is life. We call one the kidney, we call one the lung, we call one intestine. One for the liquid, one for the gas, and one for the solid state. 3 states of matter on this planet. The air we breathe, the gaseous, the water which is on it, the liquid, and the solid matters of it, which is all the minerals and metals and what the rest. So the body of the man has been originated from this planet. But in the cycle of evolution of time, as each protein has found a new dimension, new circle, new power point, has found out how this power point can do, needs to discharge itself. It needs a common denominator of itself. It needs a material that it can float inside it. Excuse me 1 second. Thank you very much. The phone has been found. So in this process, we see, we understand that life on this planet is the creation of this planet. When the earth moves more to the center towards the sun, we get the new proteins and try to adapt it to guarantee its survival. So the next generation, in 1,000,000 years time, when we are closer to the sun and we have the possibility of higher energy packs, higher elements like plutonium and uranium or whatever it could be, become part of a structure of life, because life will guarantee survival at any condition. It mutates. Most probably, if we look at the remains of the first man or first animals, first creations millions of years ago, the bone structure is different than our bone structure in composition, because there were different elements available at that time under different pressure and condition. So when we look, now that we understand the creation of amino acids on the top layer of your boxes, you have started becoming the master of creation of life. Change the salinity, different protein. Change the amount of different material, different position, different condition. If the saltiness is less, you get the sweet water fish. If it's a more salty, you get the ocean fish, butterpot fish. Taste different, structure different. You create the more pressure on this amino acid, which is got in the deeper part of the ocean, you create a different structure of the fish. Because it has to stand more pressure, it has to have a more compact, but still is halfway between the white and red meat. like tuna. The tuna fish, when you look at the structure of it, it's not white meat and it's not richly the red meat as we have as an animal. But it stands a new compression. So the pressure, atmospheric pressure of the ocean forces it to create a new condition to stand. So you look into the structure of the flesh of the tuna and you see what is needed to stand high compression in the liquid state. And then you look at the animals inside the planet Earth in the solid part. How do they live? Why don't they need a bone structure? But if you look at them, they all have the brain, the control system, they all have their kidney system to get rid of liquid, and the oxygen side for breathing, the lungs and everything else. So when we look at this structure we call the human body, hasn't come from outside. We are as earthly as the earth can be. And if you understand this, no one, no aliens ever brought life onto this planet. Is the intellect to survive, to multiply itself to different things and creating different disposal unit needs intelligence, needs coordination, needs understanding. And that has given the, what we call the world of horizontal animals, intelligence to survive. And those who have a different, what we call ground level, height, have different intellect. Man has managed to evolve, stand up and lie down. So we have a spectrum of fields. And this spectrum of fields has created certain intelligence. We are not made or brought up into this life on this planet. We are the creation of this planet. Now that we understand the whole plasma technology. And in a time when man matures to understand the whole ratio of the salinity, the whole ratio of the energy transfer in the proteins, man will create man of himself. Creating organs without the origin of a life. Creating life in replication of life. These are where the man will mature to understand. Because in space, if the man wants to stay physical, needs this understanding. We need to understand the truth about ourselves, and in that process, the knowledge seekers of the future will add to the knowledge how to create life. How to extend life. How to be able to replicate life. And in so many ways, the viruses have been a blessing to man, where they have delivered a massive energy that we could go through the conversion. All the viruses are not dangerous, or what we call packets of energies. Man receives different packets of energy from different parts of the universe. But there is one mystery in the world of creation. And that is, in essence, the soul of the man is created by the man, which we have shown it has. Scientifically, we understand how it's created. But there is one mystery which we open knowledge of man. And this is for man to find out in the future, in the time to come when he matures, what this mystery is and how he solves this mystery for himself. In the drinking systems, you put different gases. And with it, you transferred the essence of the orange into the water. The point for you is, in transferring this essence that it gave you the taste, the smell, could you create the orange in this water? Or do you just carry the essence of its existence as fields that then it can manifest itself as orange? Now, the mystery for man is bigger. In the oceans of this planet, we have made the cups. And we have made the availability of all the fields through what we just explained, the amino acids. Has the soul of being in the universe has transferred itself in the dimension of the soul of the man and physicality of the man. The same as we did with the orange, has the oceans of this planet have become the cup for transmutation of the essence of creation of the soul of the creator to the soul of the man. And the answer is yes. Now you understand why so much I go back onto the cup and the orange. I made man in the image of myself. There is no difference, it's just the size. There is no difference. The body of the man is a container of gases, the spectrum of different men. That's right. Now you understand why we have come to this point of teaching today. are we in essence creation of this planet? And as we become part of the creation of this planet, in dimension of the dynamic plasmatic fields, do we create the same condition that our body and our oceans become the same as the orange and the cup, and the replication of the essence of the life of the Creator in the body of the man? But we only take from it the spectrum which fits us. As we don't have the totality of the spectrum of the universal energy, we cannot touch the totality. Totality of the fields of the soul of the Creator, we might fit at this point. Now we come to essence of understanding. Is there a Creator? Or in essence of understanding transfer of energy, we become part of the essence of the Creator itself. Even though in physical dimension we are created on this planet. The physical body of the man has its origin and its essence is created by this planet. But then it comes one point. At the point of the separation of what we call death, as this has the matching point the same as this, would the essence of the creation will move towards the Creator and become part of it, now does not have the physicality. Do we meet our Creator, or do we come close to the Creator of our own, the dimension of the soul of the man according to his strength? Man has got a lot to learn and a lot to understand, and he has to be open enough not to be prejudiced, to draw a line at a point when he understands is part of the bigger part. Not to be humble, but to be understanding, to be humble. This is where the teachings, the knowledge seeking comes to seek the knowledge of the Creator, not the physicality of the man on this planet as we done up to. We seek the knowledge of the creation by the Creator. Then man can live in any dimension across this planet and this universe and the universes which comes. Does not need contemplation. It needs essence of understanding and feeling it and being part of it, and to be proud to be that part. Now, is the body of the man, is the existence of life of a man a composite life of the physicality of this planet and replication of the strength of the part of the creator in the soul of the man. And when, at what point reaches the point of maturity that we leave the dimension of the physicality to become the essence of on its own without attachment to physicality. We saw the creation of the amino acid on the oceans of this planet, and those who did not mature to become a living things in the right condition, they became what is known as the oil fields, what we call a crude oil, and other things. And those conditions which are created has led to creation of life, and thus every second of this working of this planet. As we explained in the teaching, the red sands of deserts of Africa on the Atlantic Ocean, in interaction with the amino acid which is created on the surface of the ocean, leads to creation of life. Plankton. In North China Sea, the same cycle repeats. Pacific Ocean receives nourishment through the same process, but this time the iron, instead of being blown by the sand, is washed into the sea. And then in interaction with the amino acid of the ocean leads to creation. And that's why the Pacific, what we call North China Sea, and that side is, and the Canadian side is so rich with life, because planktons continuously created this way. It's a packs of amino acid in the dimension of physicality, and it's more powerful than eating a kilo of meat, because it's already in the energy dimension. It has not converted fully into matter state, that you need to break it up. So when you digest it, digestion is faster. Fast energy transfers. But the other point it comes, if that was the story of the man, in the same ocean lives the fish with a soul. So does the cat. It goes back into the first Universal Council video we just watched. Do they all shine? And the Creator is blind to the shape of the physicality. But don't forget, when we spoke about the viruses, and the way the viruses with a little thing depleting the energy of the virus, or a bigger energy pack for them to survive and get bigger. With all the created things in the universe, how big is the soul of the Creator that can support life not on this planet but across the universe? And because they are the smaller, it can be nourished. Then when you can detach from the physicality, that you can understand the dimension of release of the soul of the man, you are in touch and you are part of the field of the universe in line with the soul of the Creator, then you can elevate yourself. Then you decide the dimension of physicality, if you ever decide ever to become physical again. Because don't forget, the intelligence and the feeling and emotion has not died when the physicality is separated from the soul of the man. The emotion and physicality and pain and love was learned from the soul of the man, not by the physicality of the man. So it's the essence of it. It does not need physicality to fall in love, to have a partner, to create another dimension of life for itself, in conjunction with transformation and transportation of energies from one to another. I decide where the soul, which is in parallel with me, to exist according to the dimension of existence in the universe. As I have the dimension and control the feeling and understanding of the totality of what a man feels in his physicality, is the feeling of the soul of the man itself. I made man in the image of myself. How could man in physical dimension fall in love when the soul is never aware of love? Man learned it from the soul. Now we understand, are we in truth, in total, the creation of this planet, or are we in physical dimension, the creation of this planet? But at the maturity of the soul, we become part of the universal dimension, not physical connection to this planet. But as we understand, the soul of the man has a strength within the structure of the amino acid which created it originally. So all the soul of the man are connected to each other according to the strength of this planet. Now we understand, life is not the exclusivity of this planet, but life is a combination of interaction of the fields of this planet with totality of the fields of the universe. And this is why we said, if you listen to the tape, we are here to take and to enter the universal community, where the universal community carries in totality all part of the soul of the Creator. Our job is not to take man into universe with the physical dimension of the man, but introduce the soul of the man into existence of the totality of soul of the creation in the universe. Then man can decide on his own dimension of physicality. But what is the job? Is to enhance the soul of the man to become part of the soul of the Creator, that now that we have elevated the soul of the man to become part of the soul of the Creator, the soul of the man which carries that essence can teach and convert that to the physicality of the man, which then understands there is no need for killing, destruction. As it can elevate the totality of the physicality that never do such a thing. when we feel it with our soul, we embed it. It's ingrained in our emotion, in our understanding, in our work. When a man feels, then man can do something about it. Why? Why do we need the armies? Why do we need to the killing? To prove what? To create more souls to suffer? Or if we feel what it means, that suffering, then what is going to be? Then it comes, have we matured to that point? Why I repeat in my teachings all the time that the man who kills or the man who's killed are connected to each other through the soul, and he has to bring a balance. The suffering of the children, the suffering of the family, when the man is not there, that the whole soul goes through a suffering, is the pain which the other one has to subside, has to give. I understood soldiers and wars creates nothing but pain from a very young age of 6 or 7. And when I gathered the knowledge of space, I understood that man does not need to kill for the others to suffer. We all die. There is a change of conversion of physicality, but to what time and when and where and how is decided by our soul, not by ourselves. It has decided the point of its maturity from the beginning of times. Its strength of completion is decided at the point of inception, not by the time that it gathers to be. We just add to it to increase the dimension of its physicality. But do we need to create suffering for the others? So, if we look, we come to one conclusion. The physical part of the body of the man, in essence, is created by this planet.
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia pierwszej części tego warsztatu. Myślę, że był bardzo ciekawy. Nie wiem, czy ktoś chciałby coś dodać, coś powiedzieć, dodać swoje zrozumienie. No, wiedza jest dosyć ciekawa i sam nie wiem, jak mam się odnieść do tego, bo naprawdę dużo tutaj nam pokazuje, dużo się rozwija. Mamy jakby większe zrozumienie tego, chociaż niektórych kwestii jeszcze nie rozumiem, ale być może jak więcej osób się wypowie, to dodamy sobie do wiedzy. Także zapraszam.
Ja tutaj chciałem zwrócić uwagę na parę rzeczy, bo myślę, że teaching sam w sobie jest dość no coraz bardziej przejrzyste robią się te nauki. Mamy dopełnienie wiedzy w kontekście chociażby tego blueprintu rolniczego, który był wypuszczony, czyli leczenia tego wirusa świńskiej grypy, czy pomoru, afrykańskiego pomoru, czy jakkolwiek on się nazywa, o genetycznych wojnach, o tym, jak wyglądał szczyt G20, pozycjach prezydenta na przykład Chin i Trumpa. I doszliśmy do ciekawego elementu, to jeszcze było większe zrozumienie wirusów, że Chińczycy nazywają tę technologię do góry nogami, bo zazwyczaj na bakterie podaje się antybiotyk, który jest silniejszy, więc to jest ten silniejszy element, który zwalcza słabszy, a w przypadku wirusa podajemy ten słabszy element, czyli wodę plazmową, ciekłą plazmę, i ona, będąc tym słabszym elementem, ściąga i karmi się z tego wirusa, który staje się słabszy, osłabia inne komórki wirusa i w tym procesie stają się one energią, pożywieniem dla ciała innych osłabionych komórek. Potem było odnośnie też artykułu odnośnie produktów, jeśli poszukiwacze wiedzy mają pomysły na różne produkty, otwiera się możliwość współpracy, zawsze była, ale teraz szczególnie fundacja do tego zachęca, żeby wysłać do fabryki we Włoszech próbkę swojego produktu, przedyskutować kwestie finansowe z fundacją, ile od sprzedaży i tak dalej, dogadać się na warunki tego, jak to będzie wykonywane, po drodze z certyfikacją i innymi rzeczami. I mieliśmy parokrotnie powtórzoną tą informację o tym, żeby wspierać fundację, której koszty operacyjne, wiadomo, są dość duże. Jeśli zobaczymy na to, co się dzieje, ile różnych badań, ile różnych rozwojów się dzieje i co dr Keshe finansuje ze swojej kieszeni przez lata, można powiedzieć. Czyli są to miliony i miliony wpakowane na to, żeby utrzymać to, jak fundacja działa, co robi, gdzie pomaga i jakie rzeczy odkrywa. Mówił o tym, że chodzimy do kina, 5-10 dolarów czy jakiejkolwiek waluty za każdy seans, tak samo przychodząc, oglądając, słuchając wiedzy, jeśli w to wierzymy, słuchamy i jest to coś, za czym podążamy, to warto pomyśleć o tym chociażby w taki sposób, jak pójście na film do kina i wsparcie fundacji po to, żeby te wszystkie rzeczy mogły dalej tak prężnie działać. No i później w zasadzie mieliśmy całą opowieść o aminokwasie, o początku życia w oceanach, w tej wirówce, maszynie miksującej, która te wszystkie aminokwasy mające połączenie z różnymi metalami, mówione na przykładzie różnych boksów, hemoglobina, połączenie tego amino z pudełka CO2 z żelazem. Także to wszystko tutaj mieliśmy w ten sposób, tą wiedzę uproszczoną, zebraną, wytłumaczenie dokładnie do końca, właśnie na przykładzie tych naszych pudełek do produkcji kansów, jak to miało miejsce na tej planecie. I w zasadzie tutaj doktor Keshe wrócił do punktu, że to życie tutaj zdecydowało, co absorbować, co wydalać. Ten układ dla radzenia sobie z częścią gazową tej atmosfery, czyli płuca, z cieczami, czyli nerki ze stanem stałym, czyli minerałami, to tutaj była mowa o żołądku, całym układzie trawiennym, i życie nie zostało tutaj przyniesione czy zasadzone, jak jest wiele teorii na temat na przykład kosmitów, którzy tutaj robili różne eksperymenty albo w jakiś sposób zasiali życie na tej planecie. Tutaj dr Keshe przez cały wykład wraca do tego i mówi, że jesteśmy właśnie częścią tej esencji kreatora, na jego podobieństwo, tą cząstką jego, która oczywiście w warunkach środowiska, czyli została, można powiedzieć, zasadzona jako takie nasionko, jako dusza człowieka w realiach fizyczności tej planety i poprzez tą fizyczność siebie karmimy, ale w momencie separacji wracamy, w zależności od poziomu elewacji, wracamy do tej struktury, z której wyszliśmy. Tak jak się mówi, jest tym początkiem, jest tym końcem i to wszystko wraca tam, gdzie się zaczęło. Mieliśmy jeszcze porównanie w zasadzie tych oceanów do tych kupów z pomarańczą, do tych boksów do replikacji, że właśnie tak, jak przed chwilą mówiłem o tej duszy kreatora, że te oceany tutaj są takim środowiskiem dla transmutacji duszy kreatora. W ogóle to środowisko ziemskie jest środowiskiem dla transmutacji duszy kreatora w duszę człowieka. I to jest właśnie stworzenie człowieka na swoje podobieństwo. I w zasadzie tutaj jeszcze było kawałek dopowiedziany o ropie naftowej, o tych wszystkich aminokwasach, które nie przetrwały jako życie, opadły nam na oceanów i deponowały się właśnie w postaci ropy naftowej. Troszkę było o emocjach, o duszy, o tym, że to dusza człowieka nauczyła człowieka w pewien sposób miłości, bo to ona jest tym co pierwotnie przenosi tą emocję i to uczucie na przykład miłości. Było też o tym powinowactwie właśnie z aminokwasem, z którego tworzona jest tutaj dusza na tej ziemi i o tym, że wszyscy jesteśmy połączeni właśnie tym wspólnym mianownikiem, czyli aminokwasem. I na koniec ostatnia myśl taka, jaka była poruszona, to fakt, że dusza już na samym początku poczęcia swojego określiła swoją siłę saturacji, czyli ten punkt nasycenia, po osiągnięciu, do którego zmierza, czyli po osiągnięciu którego następuje separacja, to co powszechnie nazywamy śmiercią. I tyle w zasadzie z mojej strony, jeśli chodzi o poruszenie, omówienie poruszanych w tym fragmencie. Zapraszam wszystkich do dodania ze swojego zrozumienia. Dzięki.
No, dzięki Przemek za streszczenie jeszcze tego.
No, halo, witam, Paweł z tej strony. Słychać mnie dobrze?
Tak.
No, witam wszystkich. Ja tu w sumie raczej dzisiaj o teachingu niewiele będę mówił, bo myślę, że akurat tutaj każdy z nas sobie go jakoś bierze, bynajmniej na tą chwilę. Chciałbym jedynie tylko zwrócić uwagę, że zbliżamy się do końcówki roku kalendarzowego, a jak wiemy, rok akademicki w Keshe University jest równy z rokiem kalendarzowym, a więc od nowego roku zaczynamy nowy rok w pewien sposób edukacji, więc tutaj z tej pozycji chciałbym wszystkich zaprosić do ci, którzy to rozważają w jakiś sposób, do wzięcia udziału w prywatnych zajęciach polskiej sekcji Uniwersytetu Keshe, gdzie omawiamy różnego rodzaju przetłumaczone prywatne warsztaty doktora Keshe, gdzie chyba nie muszę mówić, jak wiele wiedzy jest zawarte i ułożone w bardzo podobny, ale inny sposób, że tak to ujmę. Opłata za to jest 100 euro. Nie wiem, ile euro w obecnej chwili jest w stosunku do złotówki polskiej, ale myślę, że jest to gdzieś pomiędzy 450 a 500 zł za cały rok. Więc jeżeli zastanawiamy się, czy warto, to ja myślę, że w sumie 5 zł za godzinę lekcyjną na uniwersytecie tego rodzaju i tej rangi, myślę, że to jest niewielka, powiedzmy, że opłata. I tutaj naprawdę nie chodzi o żadną kwestię płacenia czy opłacania, tylko chodzi o pewnego rodzaju odpowiedzialność, która w bardzo piękny sposób została opisana zresztą na dzisiejszym warsztacie. Ja nie będę jak gdyby tego omawiał, bo pozwolę, żeby te mega tłumaczenia, które są robione w sekcji, żeby po prostu dały Wam możliwość odebrania doktora Keshe w sposób, w jaki on to wyrażał i jak to tłumaczył odnośnie mniej więcej tego, co możemy nazwać jakimkolwiek tematem związanym z pieniędzmi w fundacji. I myślę, że ta odpowiedzialność też w pewnym sensie przez wielu studentów, a szczególnie osoby też, które biorą udział w publicznych spotkaniach, jest w pełni zrozumiana i jak gdyby ekwiwalent finansowy w pewnym sensie ma znaczenie w naszym życiu, oczywiście, że tak, ale w drugim, powiedzmy, jak gdyby elemencie z drugiej strony monety Cashcoina widzimy, że ten pieniądz nie ma być dla pieniądza, ani dla zdobywania pozycji władzy, czy jakkolwiek to dzisiaj sobie tłumaczymy z posiadaniem pieniędzy. Ten pieniądz jest przekazywany jako możliwość rozwoju nie kogoś czy czegoś, ale totalnej wartości tej planety, jeżeli mogę to nazwać wartością. Więc jeszcze raz jak najbardziej zapraszam do wzięcia udziału w prywatnych zajęciach, opłacenia sobie czesnego, które jest na cały rok, akurat teraz, ponieważ lepiej jest to robić właśnie przy zakończeniu roku akademickiego, że tak to powiem, bo wtedy mamy jak gdyby całą wartość zrozumienia dyskusji, jakkolwiek chcemy to sobie nazwać. Dzięki bardzo. A jeszcze zapomniałem powiedzieć, że jeżeli ktoś miałby problemy z tym, gdzie i jak i w jaki sposób, to dajcie znać do naszego na spotkaniach lub napiszcie zapytanie gdziekolwiek na Facebooku do kogokolwiek ze studentów, czy jakkolwiek kogoś, kto jest w stanie Wam pomóc w tym. I myślę, że tutaj z wielką przyjemnością pokierujemy Was, pomożemy w kontaktach, żeby było to jak najbardziej przyjemne, gładkie w dokonywaniu całej procedury sprawdzania, rejestracji i tak dalej. Dzięki bardzo.
No, dzięki Paweł za informację. Jeżeli ktoś chciałby coś jeszcze dopowiedzieć, to zapraszam. Jeżeli nie ma, no to ja jeszcze dopowiem tak, że warsztat no, naprawdę był potężny, tak jak tutaj Przemek mówił o wirusach, o tych możliwościach, jakie nas czekają. Także czasy się zmieniają, nauka idzie bardzo szybko, bo tu są zagadnienia, które naprawdę wybiegają dużo do przodu. I myślę, same zdrowie, to co nas otacza, myślę, że warto się tym zainteresować, bo naprawdę jest tutaj w zasadzie nie dość, że zrozumienie, to jeszcze przejściowo możemy dużo jakby nawzajem się wymieniać tą wiedzą i poprawiać no, stan zdrowia, pomagać innym ludziom i myślę, że będzie to potrzebne i to zawsze było potrzebne, tylko zawsze ludzie szukają jakby rozwiązań, a tutaj mamy naprawdę całkowicie odwróconą tą jakby odwrócone zrozumienie odnośnie tych wirusów, jak możemy je po prostu zwalczać. Znaczy nie zwalczać, tylko teraz je zwalczamy, a tutaj po prostu je zbalansować do zmniejszenia jakby siły, gdzie działamy jako w etosie. No i myślę, że druga część równie będzie jakby potężną dawką wiedzy. Tak więc zapraszam na kolejne spotkanie już w niedzielę. To były 216 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. No i dziękuję jeszcze za tłumaczenia. Tak więc do usłyszenia. Do następnego razu. Także dobrej nocy.
Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.